Look at my background. Okay. Anyway, please subscribe. This is my first video. You're not gonna kiss back? You don't want to see me naked, right? It's in the hub. Of course y'all don't want to see me naked. Jersey? Jersey? I can do this. I love you.
Facing massive all around it, and people aren't really happy with things like wars that don't need to be happening. Bye-bye, Russia! Inflation that turned
Bro, what the fuck was it?
Little Caesar's pizza from $5 to $10. It don't even be tasty.
You gotta be lying. $10, bitch, you don't blow that to $5 back. What the hell is wrong with y'all?
Nothing good enough for this price. Little Caesar, y'all know you're wrong for this. People barely being able to afford to live. But all things considered, we're probably at the best moment in humanity compared to other times. Which is why we're going to be looking at the worst times to be alive. Starting off with none other than caveman times. The next...
Man, it's not that hard. I mean, all you gotta do is just eat. All you gotta do is just hunt and eat. It's not that hard. Well, I don't know where you're gonna find something to eat. But, y'all think it's gonna be hard to live in the caveman type times?
The name of it in general gives it away. Caveman times. Them had to live in caves to survive the night.
Grandpa?
Like, we consider the least you can have in life is shelter. Their shelter was a damp cave with all types of insects and bats flying around. You could barely around and risk sleeping because a 20-foot spider might bite your nuts off while you sleep. And could you imagine?
I want somebody to buy my nuts.
Like, I know that rock
what?
Like ice cubes. The typical day for a caveman is waking up and hoping you weren't eaten by either a saber-toothed tiger, a woolly mammoth, or Elon Musk. Then you had to go out and actually...
Why Elon Musk?
And unless you're the liver king and hunting bulls, then throwing a testes in your breakfast cereal, you probably don't. And the worst part, too, is that their weapons weren't even that good. Like, what did they have? Spears, bows and arrows, hammers? We use that shit in Minecraft now to survive. A spear or bow was probably cool to get a little bird or a fox. But what the is it gonna do against the gigantic Okay, I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name, but this big-ass ape, an extinct species of ape that were 10 feet tall and weighed over 1,000
What the fuck is that?
Because ain't no way, dog. You're gonna need a...
Nah, bro, go back to that shit. What the hell is this? It looks like if you combine every single animal that lives on our planet Earth and just boom, this is what you get. This is the monstrosity. This is the monstrosity you get from this shit. Nigga, if you don't zoom in.
Big ass ape, an extinct species of apes that were 10 feet tall and weighed over...
G Black, no one is called Blackie.
Fucking it. Because ain't no way, dog. You're gonna need about 1,000 arrows to take one of these down. Imagine these...
No, you need like 1 million. No fucking 1,000 arrows gonna pack a big ass orangutan up. That's like almost the size of a basketball rim. Like you're gonna have to get the military with that one. It's not gonna help. It's not gonna help.
That comes from because ain't no way, dog. You're gonna need about 1,000 arrows to take one of these down. Imagine these lived in modern times with us. The NBA would be paying top dollar to get one of them on their team. But nowadays, we can...
I mean, and they're monkeys, so it's a 10+ advantage, if you know what I mean.
These creatures and be like, damn, that's crazy. And boom, the species would be gone. You also gotta factor in weather too, because unlike today's tools where we can predict when anything is gonna happen, before they had to take a gamble if their village was gonna be up or taken by a tsunami in the middle of the night. I would turn into a villain if I woke up and the whole village was swept away except for me. And people talk about lifespan being low before modern medicine in the past, but imagine in caveman times. They'd be lucky if they celebrated their 18th birthday. Doing my inquisitive research with asking a question on Google, the average caveman lived to 20 to 25 years old.
Oh my god!
Unk at 12 years old.
Unk at 12 years old.
The common cold and everything. Yo,
that's not fair, bro. Let me at least live to like 55 max. Like, at the age of like 11 or 12, bro, you are now considered as unk. Crazy.
And the village already knew it was Jesus. If my caveman homie caught the cold and gave it to me, I'm gonna have to spear his ass first before the cold takes it. Plus, since there was no hygiene like a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, they were dying to basic things we prevent nowadays, like tooth infections and ass eats. Well, I don't know about ass aids, but a leaf to wipe your ass had to have
Ass aid? What the hell is an ass aid?
Let
me look that up. What the hell is an ass aid? Hold up. You cannot acquire or pass an HIV by rimming, licking, or eating out of someone's arse. However, hepatitis A and gut infections such as Shigella are easily passed on this way. Kissing. Saliva does not transmit HIV, meaning kissing is not completely safe or water sport. Nigga, I am yapping right now, but so you just can't get ass
prevent nowadays like tooth infections and ass aids. Well, I don't know about ass aids, but a leaf to wipe your ass had to have not been helped. But the main reason I couldn't live back then, quite frankly, is because everyone was ugly as shit. Like, how am I supposed to be on my Kai Cenat, Duke Dennis, looks maxing, edge mewing, joking type of timing when I look like this? I just keep bashing my face against the wall and hope my proportions smooth out better like handsome.
And no Sigma though, but I would've looked ugly as a bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
Woodward. The next time we got is the medieval times. Now there's a obvious reason I wouldn't survive because, well, let's just say I wouldn't be allowed in the town with the regular folk.
Yeah. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. They saw me. They would've grabbed it out. Pause. They would've grabbed their switchblades out and whoosh, whoosh. They had to show us what type timing they were on back then, bro.
But it's not like I'd want to because shit was not fun. Like, I know I already talked about hygiene with the caveman, but holy shit, at least they died early. There were actual old people in the medieval times. Back then, they used to actually think it was healthier to not shower. Scientists were not the brightest creatures. They thought diseases were caused by smells, and if you took a shower, it opened up the pores for the disease to enter your body, which has got to be the dumbest conclusion ever. But hey, that's...
You gotta be sped. They had to be sped in order to just say, oh yeah, if you take a shower, it's gonna cause a disease, guys. Do not take a shower, or else you're gonna get packed up. Nigga, you're gonna get packed up if you don't take a shower.
What you get on a diet of stale bread and moldy cheese. I also like me a nice toilet with the sea-ass temp set at 68 degrees Fahrenheit to set forth the environment for my bowels to erupt. But do you know what a medieval toilet looked like? It was a hole in the ground. And after people finished doing their business, they would just throw their outside. Imagine walking to school or work in the morning and you get hit by 5 pounds of diarrhea from above. And in medieval times, you better hope you don't get caught with doing a heinous act like being a traitor, being black, because their torture methods were out of pocket for no reason. If you're tapped into the historical side of YouTube, you've already seen how wild they could get. And the names give them away of the torture devices. Like, what type of joist object would be called the breast ripper? The worst one to me is the rack, where they tied you to a mechanical device that rotates and slowly stretched out your body until every bone broke and you ripped in half. If they bring this...
Yep, I'm gonna become the best citizen, the best person ever, and not to get in order to not get that shit. I'm not trying to get nothing like that, bro. I'm going to be the best citizen in that era, and no one's gonna stop me.
Back as a torture method, never in my life am I even attempting to do the pettiest crime. I'm gonna be the most stellar citizen the government has ever seen. I'll always make sure to cross the street on a cross.
Bro, copy what I said.
And I'll always make sure to go exactly the speed limit, not risking. And it's not like they even did it for only extreme.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna just pretend that no laws are that. What the fuck, nigga? Just fucking react to the video. You fucking stuttering.
Criminals. If you simply had a different religious belief, they was finna call you a witch and put you on it pronto. Honestly, I don't...
Why people?
Even know why you would even tell them you have a different religious belief. Like, you just gotta be stupid. Also, people think politicians and world leaders are corrupt now, but could you imagine back then? You could probably give a king the wrong look, and if he's already mad that day, he'll just send you to be executed. And if I was a king... honestly, I'd probably do that too. Like, if I see some dude in the kingdom that looks handsome and might be a threat to my pulling abilities, I'm gonna have him executed. Game is game. And it's not like anyone was going against the king. Bro. If they tried, they would barely have a chance. You would try killing the king, a knight would stop you, then put you through the most excruciating torture to ever exist.
Take him to Detroit.
No!
We also thought quarantine was bad and staying a year and a half or 2 years inside was excruciating. But in medieval times, they had the Black Plague and... yeah, we really shouldn't be complaining. You were waking up every day and bodies were dropping left and right like no tomorrow. One day it was your homie's grandmother gone. The next day it was your grandmother gone? This plague took out 50% of the population. Imagine right now we went from 8 billion to 4 billion. Honestly, I wouldn't mind some of y'all freaks being taken out, but 4 billion was a little too much for me, you know? And their plague was 7 years. Also, the doctors were not helping back then because why did they choose this as their outfit? They look creepy as f. No way in hell I'm letting these dudes get near to help me with my...
Yeah, this guy looks like he can, like, spread the plague further, bro. I'm not trusting nobody who looks like some guy that looks like he can fold you like this.
Medical predicaments. They couldn't have chose a scarier costume to go with. What were they thinking? Imagine being an innocent child and having the Black Plague, then this thing comes to aid and consulting you. I'ma just say my prayers to my Lord and Savior and drop dead. The next times we got is segregation times. And if you're not of a melanin...
Nope. Hey, look at my skin color, Chad. Look at my skin color. See? They not treating me right.
Well, congratulations, you get a one-time pass for this portion of the video to relive it. Let me give a shout out real quick to the GOATs. MLK, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X. Because without them, you wouldn't be watching this video of me. Either that or there would be a black-only YouTube and white-only YouTube. So, I don't know, maybe you would be watching it. I would have been pissed off.
Yo, segregation between white people YouTube and black people YouTube, bro. Yo, that would have been like one of the most craziest things in history, bro.
Living back then because the hassle you had to get anything while segregated was absurd. Like, we already know everything was separated by black and white places only, but then imagine how many actual black businesses you could go to. The hassle you had to go through alone to be able to open a business was almost impossible. As soon as they saw the race listed on the business application, you know they did not give a fuck. If you had to get a life-threatening surgery, you might as well just end it there because there were about 50 people in line in front of you. And even if you did manage to get something luxurious like a car back then, you was getting pulled over every time you drive. You probably couldn't even use the car at nighttime anyways because sundown towns. Which for y'all that don't know are towns that ban non-white people from coming in after sundown. Imagine you don't know and randomly drive into the town a minute after sundown and catch a beating. I'd be pissed. And a beating is...
Yeah, bro, just stay home at that point.
Probably the lightest punishment they'd consider. I'd also be mad too because I wouldn't be able to talk to one of my white homies half the time. You couldn't hang out at the same school, hotels, bars, restaurants, parks, basically anywhere that was fun. The only place we would be able to talk is probably a damn grass field in the middle of Iceland. And if your love happened to be of another race as well, they definitely not gonna let that pass. You finna get banished from the family. Why do you think you've never seen an old light-skinned person? Really question yourself. Have you ever seen an old light-skinned person? They wasn't breeding them until like 50 years ago. It wasn't allowed. Thank the heavens they allowed it, or else we would have never gotten my pookie wookie trachey snakey. You could be walking down the street normally doing your own thing and randomly someone is calling you the hard R like it's Call of Duty. And unlike Call of Duty where you can talk back, you couldn't risk doing it because you know the cops
light skin just never exists. Like a black dude and a white girl just never fucked ever in their lives. We never had a light skin. Well, all I know is we wouldn't have BBL Drizzy and I don't know any other light skin on top of my head.
Taking your side. You getting a life sentence if you even think of speaking back. Crazy thing is, some people act like this was like 500 years ago or something. The Civil Rights Act got passed 60 years ago. Some people alive were in their 20s, 30s, and 40s when it got passed. And of course, the last time we got is World War II because
no. Nah, bro, because they just randomly be selecting any person. First pick of the World War II draft is John Dickinson, and then your cook, your cook. You know, for a big fag, you're gonna get packed up mid-war. Not even mid-war, at the start of it too. It's not looking good for you.
The best thing about Chime is being paid up to 2 days
Chime,
early.
you don't need that much money, bro. Chill.
Every group had it bad. First, you had to get drafted to a war you didn't want to fight. Like, I don't got no problems with anyone. Why the f am I fighting? These presidents got to start fighting in a boxing ring or something because I'm not fighting with some problems you got. And patriotism went extra crazy before because kids were dead-ass lying to get drafted and fight for the country. I'm doing the exact opposite of this happen. Yeah. Whatever means it takes to not be drafted, I'm doing it. If I gotta lie about my age and act 12 years old, I'm doing it. If I gotta go up in a political position to be safe, I'm doing it. If I gotta act like I'm sped for years, I'm doing it. And it's even worse.
If I gotta suck dick for the rest of my life, I'm doing it.
For other wars like the...
What? I mean, I would, to be honest. No joke, bro. No joke, I would.
Vietnam War. Because they would announce the draft picks on live TV, and whatever birthday it was, you were getting drafted. They treat it like it's the NFL or NBA draft. Imagine watching this live and them going, okay, and the draft we have for the Vietnam War of 1972 is going to be... okay, I'm March 3rd. Please don't be me. Please don't be me. Please don't be me. March 4th. Oh. Guess I'm good after all. There's been a mistake in the announcement. We meant March 3rd. Fuck! Patriotism
And then you're packed up.
really worked back then because all they knew was what the TV played and what the government said. Being on a war field for months and not knowing when you're gonna either get sniped, hit by a 5-foot tank shell, captured by the enemy,
Wait,
and
what
being
the fuck
tortured.
the hell is that, bro?
The best living times for people. And if you were Japanese, well, I mean...
No, go back.
For months and not knowing when you're gonna either get sniped, hit by...
Bro. What in the actual... Who let this tank just pull up to my front yard, bro? Nah.
By the enemy and being tortured for weeks wasn't really the best living times for people. And if you were Japanese, well, I mean...
What?
You know how that story goes. Japan was ruthless though, not gonna lie, but could you imagine you're drafted into the Japanese military and the job they assign you is as a kamikaze? There was no age limit to this job either. They gave this job to teenagers. Your fate is...
Oh yeah, then if I was born in that year and the same age I'm in right now, which is 14, bro, I'm cooked.
Already destined that you're dying. What do you even do at that point?
I'm more than cooked. I'm forever cooked. No, I don't know.
Like me would have to dip in the middle of the mission and just let the plane crash in the ocean. I feel like it would be way easier nowadays to get people to do it though. You could recruit by looking for some...
a teenager have to do this? Why can't a grown ass man not doing them damn stuff? No kid is going. No kid should be fucking be folded by this shit, bro. We absolutely packed up by this shit.
Emo kids or sad edit TikTok comment section, you know, people that wouldn't mind losing their life anyways. And if you were Jewish, well, I mean, you also know how that story goes. And after being forcibly drafted to the war, you'd come back home and still be broke. With all that PTSD you got, it was probably hard to work any job. You couldn't work.
All that hard work just for me to lose an arm and a leg. I get paid 2 cents. Nigga, come here so I can beat your ass.
In a restaurant because you get PTSD from oil popping from the fryer. You couldn't work a factory job because you get PTSD from all the loud machines. You couldn't work as a corn star because you get PTSD from all the clapping. And even if you do get paid, it's barely enough to scrap by. There's no reason we should have homeless veterans. So yeah, guys, even though the world isn't perfect and things seem like they're always getting worse, at least you didn't have to be a kamikaze pilot in World War II. I think that's the lesson here. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
W Tommy NFG. And we gonna get married someday, ain't that right? Get married, right? Don't try to deny either.
Watch your fucking mouth. I don't give a fuck.